Hello, my lovely starborns. Welcome to your full moon reading. So, this full moon is happening in the sign of tropical Virgo and sidereal nakshatra of Magha, which is ruled by Ketu. Ketu, the spiritual planet, the south node of the moon. And Magha's energy is very much connected to the Pitris, aka the ancestors. So the ancestral energy is strong, yes, and especially with the Virgo too. I get this ancestral link with Virgo because it's the energy of the Divine Mother as well as the feminine trifecta, right? Maiden, Mother, and Crone. I associate all three with Virgo. So there is this ancient ancestral energy at play, which many of you maybe you're getting like a lot of messages. Yeah, so especially from your ancestors. Plus, spiritual activities heightened around this time, and that has a lot to do with the flares, of course. But there is something about this moon which is cleansing in a sense. So even if you go and look at the moon, by the way, this is the snow moon. So if you go and look at it, it is actually bright white. I went to look at it. It was so illuminated that I couldn't even see the marks that are visible on the moon, the craters and all. None of it. It was just bright white. And after a long time, I got this motherly energy from the moon. And yeah, it's significant, I guess. Maybe some of you feel the same. Also, I feel like it looks a bit closer because I remember the last moon was really distant. So this could be a super moon. It looks like it. And yes, there's this purity surrounding it. It's this, I don't exactly know how to explain. Let's see what the cards have to say. What do we need to know about this moon? What I personally feel is it's very important to be mindful of amplified emotions around this period because you can expect emotional intensity. All right? Like there's something watery about the energy, even though, yeah, it's an earth as well as a fire moon in both the systems. It's very important to stay in your authenticity but avoid being impulsive, all right? Or also avoid being too much in your pride, especially when it comes to pride connected to your lineage or who you are or where you come from. And when I say lineage, this is also about, let's just say, your starseed origin, right? Because when it comes to your ancestors, yeah, things work very differently, especially if you are awakened. And this is a starseed channel. So, what I feel like with take inspired action, it's a great time to put a structure to your everyday life, find certain discipline in your everyday life, and connect with your playful side more. You know, it's time to rediscover the joy of playfulness and lightheartedness. So, engage in activities that spark joy and brings in fun, you know, and release any kind of self criticism because you have to be mindful with the Virgo energy. So if you're being pulled into that loop, you know what it is. It's that Virgo perfectionist energy at play. So understand, find beauty in imperfections, acknowledge your strengths and what you have achieved so far. Release any kind of unhealthy comparisons and just love yourself. Okay, trust your intuition, set healthy boundaries, and prioritize connection that uplift and support you. That's the message here. and it's one of the inspired actions that is required right now. Also, this is also about focusing on the bigger goals, the things that you want to do with your life. It's time to find structure when it comes to those things. Yeah. All right, let's see. I'm going to pull a card from the Mayan deck as well as the Egyptian deck. It's just for the full moon in Virgo. Oh, before I do that, just let me read out from the book. There was a tiny ritual connected to this moon. Yeah. So it says find a balance between dreaming big and being practical. Yeah. And it's important to believe in your dreams, but also the need to take practical steps towards them. The energy of this card will help you to connect with that reality. Mhm. So the ritual is, it says add tea tree essential oil to your diffuser. So I put this up here, I added some tea tree oil, and it says sit comfortably and gently close your eyes. Then call in goddess Ceres, goddess of the harvest and all kinds of fertility, who also represents the love a mother has for her children. Again, that feminine, divine feminine energy at play. Then it says, ask Ceres for her help in making a bounty of dreams come true. And then there is this manifestation affirmation here. It goes like, I forgive myself for everything. I am doing my best, which I feel like is on point when it comes to Virgo energy. Okay, because remember, all these zodiacs, they are present in our chart. This energy is present. How pronounced it is, that is, of course, depends on your individual chart, but it's still there, right? And everything is working together anyway, since we're all connected. So it's a big part of the collective unconscious too. So the big message here is be mindful of self criticism. It's time to actually look at how far you have come in life and focus on that and build upon that. Use it as a fuel, as acknowledgement, as validation, and build on it. Because nothing comes out of the opposite energy where you talk in a certain negative way to yourself, especially. Nothing comes out of negative self talk or over criticism, even if it comes to others, right? You cannot like criticize somebody and expect that that will be helpful for them. Even when it comes to criticism, it has to be delivered in such in a smooth way, in a way that doesn't hurt the person. So there's something about that. Soften your energy, especially when it comes to yourself, which in turn will do the same when it comes to your connection with others too. But yes, charity begins at home. Let's see what messages we have for final. Right. Resolution of duality. This card, man. Seriously. Okay, good. Says greater cycles underneath. Okay, let's get some Egyptian cards. Jumpers, please. Some of you are coming out of judgment. You've passed some spiritual tests. Right, we're ready. Spread some ash. Okay. Oh, this guy. Sobek. Okay. Sabdat. And Ujit. Wow. And look who's underneath. Kerhat. This has been a very consistent energy lately. Initiation. Occult initiation. Which always takes me to the activation that we are going through, all the heavy activation that the collective is undergoing right now. All right. All right, you guys. What did I tell you with this energy being here? Wait a minute. Karhat, I've been, because it keeps showing up consistently, right? And it is all about secret initiation. It's about the transmission of occult power. I see all the serpents here. Now with Sobek, I'll tell you what this is very interesting, very cool reading. Okay, see. So he is the one who reunites. Alright? You guys, regardless of your gender, I'm just gonna say this. You are pregnant with possibilities, alright? You can make your ultimate dream come true, whatever it is for you. Some of you, I get this energy that there isn't one. So there needs to be a dream in place. So decide. Because through this occult initiation, and this is happening in your energetic field, in your energy field, in your chakras, in your DNA. This is where the initiation is taking place, especially with Sobek there. Because let me just read this out. So, because Sobek was kind of considered the henchman of Seth, okay? Yes, he was considered that. And when people in the ancient Egypt, when they evolved more and more in consciousness, his energy shifted. Because his energy is about, again, and all these cards here are about power, occult power, spiritual power. And with that power comes great responsibility, right? And with Sobek, it's about destructive energies that, if unchecked, could bring about, destruction, right? But at the same time, it's about finding an ally, and it is about material power. And this is what your secret initiation is connected to. Are you seeing all the arcs raining in this card? This is no coincidence. Now, I'll just read where it talks about how his energy changed. Now, the destructive power of Sobek was seen to be a necessary element in the process of transformation itself. And this is a very, very Virgo energy that is being presented here through Sobek's energy. Because with Virgo has a very dark side. It embodies that crone energy too. Plus, in occult traditions, Virgo is considered to be that twin energy of Scorpio. And it is far more dark than Scorpio. Because it appears creative. And it is creative. But it is the destruction through which creation comes in. So they were always working in tandem. Anyway, so the destructive power, right? Now, the primeval power, Sobek personified, was destructive only to those who were enmeshed in the material trappings of the external world. Because, and this is talking about alchemy. And with this being your main energy, resolution of duality, you are already resolving the perception of duality. You can see through the illusion of separation itself, right? It's not about good and bad, it's not about right and wrong. You are understanding the cooperative alliances that are most effective, actually, and often that polarity persists in such connections. It is because it is also, it allows you to personally integrate that polarity within, and in turn make you understand the mass consciousness that is at play. And when I say the mass consciousness, it's actually both. A chunk in that very consciousness is trapped in the separation of it all. And then so many can experience, have experienced, will experience that unity within and without. And this guy was also worshipped in many parts. Now, fearful deities have always been employed to guard the inner teachings of the sacred sciences. They represent our own fears and destructive energies projected onto an outward form. Exactly. Now, the primeval powers Sobek embodied was a link with extra human realms, with reptilian consciousness, and the mud and slime of human happenings. But slowly, gradually, Sobek assumed the form of a ram headed crocodile and was not only identified with Seth but also with Ra. And what is this talking about? Because we tend to look at the negative aliens in a certain way, right? And there are like those abductors and all, right? They caused a lot of chaos, yes. The Dragos. So, but then there is a segment within this very negative alien race, very grays, who know better, who are doing better. Anyway, now, yeah, so it is also identified with Ra now as a form of the sun god when the vernal equinox entered the sign of the ram, which is the Aries season. And by the next full moon, actually, this very full moon, this very new moon, sorry, yeah, I kind of consider the full moon to be an old moon. Now, as it starts to wane, I think by the time we reach the next full moon, we will be in the Aries season. Yeah? So let's see what is being said about. So he was taught to unite the elements separated by Seth and to restore life to the elements dispersed by death. Now, it may be that his powers of bringing together the separate parts was a reflection of Neith, the creation goddess, the weaver. Some of you could be seeing spiders, a lot of spiders around this time. That's going to be a good luck symbol for you. the weaver goddess, who was his mother, Sobek's mother. Now, in the Book of the Dead, he helped in the rebirth of Hero. And who is Hero? Connected to the age of light, the age of Aquarius. And he assisted the dead by giving them sight, by opening the doors of heaven and leading them along the treacherous byways so they, like Hero, may be born into new life. Yeah. He's depicted here in human form with a crocodile head, crowned with horns and a solar disk around which two urae rare. Above the solar disk are two green feathers, which are Sobek's special signature. Wow, I actually saw a green feather today. A tiny one, and I know it was from my parrot, but I saw it in a very weird place where my parrot is not present. Yeah, that's what it's reminding me of. Anyway, some of you can be, yeah, it's possible you'll find green feathers. Sort of think of him, and that happens. He holds the ankh of life in his right hand and vast scepter of prosperity in his left. So in Greco-Roman times, Sobek was equated with the planet Mercury, the ruler of Virgo. Wow. And in this aspect, his color is green, representing the mind. In the Egyptian zodiac, the crocodile is the sign of Scorpio. What did I just tell you about Virgo and Scorpio? And the resolution of duality. Okay, so this full moon, many of you, if you have considered yourself to be on a twin journey and you've disconnected from that dynamic, around this full moon, you're integrating a deeper understanding of your journey itself. You are actually understanding your journey of ascension in a way like you have never done before. And this is here to stay. It is not that ebb and flow, ebb and flow. Now you're feeling a certain way, and the other times you're overwhelmed and you don't know what to do with yourself. None of that, especially with Ujjit here. Because you see, there's a progression happening here. And this is showing up in your blessing because this is all about. And oh my god, the green energy is so strong here. He's all about green and she's all about green. She's actually called the green goddess of the north. And that's the Kundalini energy here that is at play. And the Urias energy. So healing is being grounded with this full moon. And this is Black Isis. I'll talk about the blessing later. Let's just look into this too. Set that first. Yeah. 5. The star Sept or Sirius, also Black Osset, Isis. Now, the cosmic Osset was identified by the ancient Egyptians as the star Sirius, the brilliant herald of the new year. Oh my god, and we are going to be. Okay, so important. Aries season is very, very important for you guys. Major shift, like it's like you're actually starting a brand new year in the Aries season with the Aries season, like the ram you're becoming. That is why that message came in. I don't know if I said that, but yeah, be mindful of pride. Okay, stay sorted, stay humble, stay grounded. I'm literally hearing that song, be humble. You know which one, you know which one. The be humble. Okay, and good things are coming in. All right, now, herald of the new year, when it rose over the eastern horizon with the sun to mark the annual flooding of the Nile, bringing life and fertility to the land. And this is Shakti energy, guys. This is Shakti. Again, that divine feminine is highlighted here. And the rites of Black Osset were the most sacred of all the Netero. It was in her name that the highest magic was performed, the dark mystery or the black rite. A rite performed only for those who were judged worthy of it after long probation in lower degrees. Something of a far more sacred character, apparently, than the instruction in the mysteries enacted in light. So you see why? It's all a secret, it's a spiritual secret. But those of you, you know if you have been initiated or not. You know this. Because this is a process, a gradual one, an ongoing one. And you feel the shift and you fully grounding it with the astrological new year. So happy new year. Bearing in mind the connection through her mother Newt of Oseth with the eight primordials who existed in the darkness. This is no coincidence, I'm telling you. Before creation, and the serpent power associated with the female primordials, we find a strong similarity in the black rite, hidden from the profane with the ecstatic worship of Shakti in the sacred tantric rituals of India and Tibet. And these things are occult in nature, hidden, because it's not for everyone. And certain energies are designed and gate kept in such a manner that the ones who deserve it, the ones who actually know what to do with it in a responsible way, only they can access it. And something that magical is happening to my collective. So this is a revelation. That is what is happening. Penetration into the hidden nature of existence, occult knowledge. Let's read into Ujjit. How is this a blessing? The name Urias originated in the Egyptian word Arat, meaning she who rears up, and in the form of a cobra with its spread hood, Ujjit sat as the Urias on the brow of the pharaoh as the symbol of his divine authority. It's almost like you're finding your Nagmani, which is the cosmic gem. Treasure. Each one of you finding a treasure in one way or the other. Now the Urias protected the pharaoh and was called the Eye of Ra, spitting fire to avert evil and destroy enemies. That is what is happening, and this is what I have been talking about. Instant karmic retribution at play. Ujjit was absorbed into the goddess Oseth to become Ujjit Oseth. We do have Black Oseth here too. And she is mentioned helping Oseth in the papyrus swamps when the goddess was hiding her son Heru from the cunning of Seth. Yeah, so those periods of hibernation. Many of you have been hiding too. You have been in hermit mode. You've been hiding your light too, because yeah, your light attracted certain kinds of energy where you had to be overprotective of yourself. Around this period, no, it's safe to be out there. It's safe to live life. It's safe to be yourself. So Ujjit is basically the personification of the primordial serpent power. So serpent power. It's reminding me of that very famous book, The Serpent Power, by this English dude, I guess, who visited India and wrote all about it during the colonial times. I think he was English. He's very famous. And that book was like, groundbreaking, and especially at the time it was published. Because the Kundalini energy was highly gate kept by the Vedics and even the Egyptians, royalties, Egyptian royalty. Anyway, so Yeah, some of you, maybe Serpent Power, that book could be helpful for you. So, the primordial serpent power that once uncoiled from her sleep in the root chakra can rise with lightning speed up the channel of the spine. And yes, the chakra work is really highlighted in my readings lately. So, here's your confirmation. Consuming body and mind with the fire of enlightenment and producing an ecstatic union of human with the divine. So, absolute awakening is here, spiritual awakening, enlightenment, and it is you entering a blissful phase of your life now after all the work that was done in the darkness. Also, this is also pointing towards the dark night of the soul, that, yeah, now it's like the flow in your creativity is coming back in. It's like it's time to live. Yeah, it's like feeling alive again in a way that is very different from your past experiences. And with Ujjit, the blessing here is magical protection and power, royal power, it says. So I feel like this has to do with your star origin. So, yes, the light activations that are taking place for you. I actually want to get some light activation cards. Gateway of light activation. I just I'm being taken to the author of this deck. His name is Kyle Gray. Gray, right? And the gray energy came in with Sobek, and I told you about the light gray beings who are actually helping humans. And when it comes to the gray DNA, it's very much present in the human collective, like highly, at least 80%, I would say. 80% of the population has the gray DNA because they heavily, I'm getting the word contaminated, tainted, mutated. I don't want to use these, but you know what they did with the genetic interference and their own desperation. So, yeah, a lot of experimentation. So, big chunk of humanity has reptilian codes, and big chunk of star seeds do have reptilian codes, Virgo codes actually. It's a bit different from, it's not exactly gray, it's draconian, but yeah. It's basically about understanding that it's not about us versus them, even when it comes to those who are perceived as enemies. It's not about getting lost in the old dialogue. It's about doing things differently. This war is not confrontational like that, where, it's about survival of the all, one way or the other. That is what the ascension process is about. It's not about find it's not about forming another cult here on this planet, first of all, especially when it comes to the Starseed collective. Don't make it about us versus them because there are people out there who are doing that. I've seen people who are actually selling courses and books to just the star seeds because star seeds need protection now from the humans. I mean, dude, do you know what the hell you're talking about? Because if you're a star seed, you're built in such a way that you will find your way. No one needs to coddle you. It is counterintuitive. So I hope this makes sense. Anyway, light activation. Kashuk Stargate flipped. Halls of learning, spirit guides, confirmation, great lessons. Yep, confirmations. Orion activation, right underneath Sobek. Okay, and Pleiadian activation came out in reverse, but I'm just gonna keep it here. Alright, and Gaia Gateway activation underneath. Okay, you guys cannot see it, but Pleiadian and Orion next to each other. It says coming together, harmony in the heavens, resolution, supernova, recreation, renewal, rebirthed by light. And Sobek being rebirthed by light. That's good. That's really good because that's confirmation that we are talking about light aliens, light negative aliens, light grays, I mean. All right, let's see halls of learning first. The great halls. So you are on the path to great learning. Spiritual beings are drawing close to support you. If you're facing challenging or difficult circumstances or have just removed through such a time, okay, just moved, and I just said removed. Actually, yes, you're being removed from the old, you're being removed from the old paradigm, as well as how you perceive things changing drastically. So, yes, if you're still feeling overwhelmed by a certain event or asking why it happened, call on Source and your guides to reveal to you the pattern, trauma, or wound that has contributed to this challenge. If you are not experiencing challenging energy, the reason is that you have made huge progress on your spiritual journey, and that's exactly what it is, resolution of duality. Secret initiation is here. So much so that your perspective has shifted so that you can view every challenge as a window of opportunity. Yes, every challenge. The halls of learning gateway indicates that your spiritual gifts are developing at this time. Yes, and you got two activation cards. So the star system is definitely highlighted. And I think I told you, right, that it's actually about your star origin. Okay, let's see the Orion message. And this is DNA activation. Yes, so of course. So all of your fears and setbacks are being stripped from your energy now. Exactly. It is essential for your old way of being to fall away and for you to go through a process of renewal in order to move forward. The old stories of your life are not yours to live out or live up to. You are far greater than these limiting experiences. Confirmation, you guys. And did we see confirmation somewhere? Yeah, here. Great lessons. Lessons learned. So the beings of Orion are surrounding you now and they see you as one of them. And recently I did a reading and I was telling you guys that deep physical healing is taking place and that I associate with light gray energies because they are like heavily entangled with humans because they depend on us for the survival of their race, right? And there are a lot of humans here who have actually made contracts with these beings. So There is less of abduction going on because now they are working in a more balanced way. And a lot of humans actually have contracts with these light beings. Light beings, yeah, well, they are light beings, yeah, gray light beings, still gray. But yeah, essentially. And your governments and all. So the science that they have is far advanced, and it is from these beings. It's not higher light dimensional beings. No, it's these so-called negative aliens, the reptilians, the Greys, the Dracos. Actually, Dracos are more so in the Starseed collective. But yeah, the same energy, origin too. So when you draw this card, you're being reminded that you are infinite and you have infinite star potential, and the word star potential is highlighted. And you see the Sirius, the Orion belt. Sorry, I don't know why I said Sirius. The Sirius is right here though. So yeah, it's facing here, right? Okay. And I'm getting this message that, so there's that star, right? Al Neelam. Through an activation connected to this star, the blue energy is highlighted. And that is what is igniting your connection with the very blue flame, which is really, it's a big deal. And Orion is actually the destructive part of Lord Shiva. So the Rudra energy, the destructive Rudra energy, is actually this Orion energy. So definite resolution of duality here. And the final one is Pleiadian, because now it's all coming together here. Healing. A lot of healing is here with Pleiadian activation. Because it is through Pleiadian activation that especially the wounded masculine and distorted masculine energy that is present here on the planet, it is through Pleiadian activation those things are taken care of. Okay, so it says Pleiadian energy is about coming together in peace and in harmony. You are blessed to receive this gateway, for it is a powerful message of assurance that whatever uncomfortable energy you are experiencing will soon be washed away. It's already being washed away. And yes, I did give you the time frame of the astrological new year. It's like many of you feel reborn, and also this energy of resurrection. I think Easter is around the same time, right? I'm not so sure, but yeah, it's usually around spring. Hmm. So Pleiadians are beings who live in complete honor of their planets and their people. They acknowledge that in seeing and connecting with one another, they have an opportunity to see the experience, to see and experience the divine. They also know the consequences of disrespecting others. It's for this reason that this is no longer possible for them. Yeah, so if you're being challenged by loved ones now, aim to shift the dynamics of this relationship through a loving approach. The lesson you are facing at this time is an opportunity to heal old wounds and operate from a higher state of being. So, the collective wounding connected to the feminine, that is what is being healed, is being harmonized. Those of you, if you connect with the twin journey, the feminine energy is being healed around this time. And I feel like when it comes to the masculine energy, a lot of clearing is taking place. Yeah. Let's get some tarot. Which one? I'm gonna use this. Already cleared the deck. This is for my lovely star phones. Full moon messages. Look, it just fell there. Not gonna take it, but we'll see. Ace of Cups, King of Pentacles, Five of Wands, the Sun, Queen of Swords. All right. Somebody can try to rush in and try to like pull you in an old dynamic, but be gentle even if you say no, even if you want to remove yourself from that dynamic equation and all of that. Do it in a graceful manner, okay? Right. The Star, Ace of Pentacles, Five of Swords showing up in the blessing. I am seriously like, lately, Five of Swords keeps showing up in the blessing. And it is always funny to me, King of Wands. Because seriously, Spirit is basically like, are you going to take care of yourself or not? Are you going to protect yourself through your own efforts or not? Are you going to make the kind of decision that you know is in your higher good, even regardless of what it looks like on the outside? Some of you, I feel like you're dealing with a situation or something where you're like, how you'll be perceived, you're in that sort of energy. So, you know, also, this is about disengaging when it comes to how you view your past. All right, because what is happening here is ultimate up leveling. You are looking at yourself in a way, it's almost like you finding yourself finally. And it's like you peak there, and then all of a sudden the energy shifts, and it's like your focus, your mind, it's basically your mind actually that tries to barge in and bring in a certain kind of energy which you have actually disconnected from when it comes to your spiritual body, at least. And these are the connections that have spiritual origin. So if there is a disconnect there, now it's just the mind holding on. That's what I'm getting. And you know why there is a disconnect in the spiritual body? Because someone has to do the equal amount of work. Whoever it is dealing with, regardless of whether it's a twin or not, or some family connection, whatever it is, whoever you're dealing with, whoever has this sort of hold on you, they have to do their spiritual work if they want access to you. Otherwise, they cannot sustain this energy. So it's for everyone's good that you become a bit selfish here and you choose you and you go after your goals, your opportunities. Just make your life a little bit about you. And again, I'm not promoting that sort of like thinking where you just have to live for yourself. No, no, not at all. Especially if you call yourself a star seed. Your life is not so much about you. even if you are on a double mission and it's about your personal mission and your transpersonal mission. Regardless, it's the transpersonal mission that is on top. But it's this inner work, it's this frequency that you hold, that is also how you help the entire collective, because just your very existence is doing that. Okay, so it's time to actually put yourself on the pedestal as opposed to anyone else. A lot of wish fulfillments coming in. Dream big. Believe in your own healing, all right? Don't second guess this. It's not temporary. It's not. You won't be pulled back into any kind of old darkness, whatever you dealt with. Let all that go. See? Queen of Cups. Be selfish with your emotions. Even if you have a lot of it, be productive of yourself. You don't have to wear your heart on your sleeves. And this is not me telling you that close your heart space. No. Feel deeply. Be yourself. Be true to you. Acknowledge your feelings. But keep it between you and your heart, at least around this time. And focus on your goal. And by the way, we got two earth cards in the Egyptian deck too, right? So spirit is actually guiding you in the material realm itself. We do have the page of pentacles here. And it says apprentice. This is my twin card. It's right here underneath the two cups card. It is 7 and 4 of cups. All right. I'm not taking these, but sure. Something is coming in. It's like a surprise. It's a surprise. Okay, Spirit. Fine. Spirit's like, I'm going to tell you everything. I'm going to spill everything. Seriously, 8 cards came out like that. So I'm going to put this back together. And I just want to check something for the 5 of Swords. Who is that figure, if it is a figure? Okay. It's not a figure. No. I'm telling you, this is more so about. See, I feel like you went through a lot of stuff. You went through a lot of stuff. And, you've been healing from, like, through cycles, through multiple cycles. You've been healing in such a way where you never wished bad upon another. You never wished darkness on the people who brought that same darkness into your life. There was something about you moving in a way which was always in light. And this goes back to the initial awakenings, all right? And I feel like recently something happened where perhaps for the first time you guys actually reached that tipping point and you actually set a healthy boundary in an energetic manner because you reacted like a human for the first time in your star-seeded existence. And I don't know what to tell you here, but it is rewarding. You know why? Because you were being tested. You were being tested. You're frustrated. There was anger. That some of you even dealt with bitterness or something of that nature, where there was pain basically. But you know what? In all that darkness, you did not act like the very people you've been dealing with. Even then, you did not. The max you did was hurt your own shadow. You gave some space to your shadow. To your shadow felt alive after a long time, and it was required because it was sort of like accumulating the darkness within. I don't know, it caused a release period. You were in a release period, all right? It's like when there is a lot of spiritual energy, and if you're a highly spiritually charged person, the mana that is within you, if you're not using it fully, right, it stays within. Think of it in the sacral center, all right? And it stays within, and when it accumulates a bit too much, and this is especially true for people if you do not have a creative process in place and you're also celibate, so you don't have an outlet for all that creative energy. So something happened here where you allowed for the release. So in turn, the darkness did not accumulate. It's like you've channeled it in a healthy way, and it's of course different for each one of you. You know what it is, but you did something good here, even if it means giving space to your very own anger. You made a move which absolutely liberated you here. So now prepare for the best. And you know what is awesome here? It has not affected your ability to love and to walk in love at all times in life. So there is that. And that is again powerful. Powerful. I want to pull an angel number card, and then we'll wrap this reading up. Yeah, I will split it in two and pull one card from each pile. Wow, no sugar coating, exactly. So yeah, new beginning, absolute new beginning, and with alrighty. See, 717, the hard part is over. Wow. See, experience is the mother of wisdom. Let's see what it says. See things, people, and circumstances for what they are at the given moment, not for what you wish they could be. Exactly. That is what happened here. That is why it's a blessing. Because you're like, you know what, I'm no more going to hold space for this kind of nonsense ever again in my life. And you guys, you set this healthy boundary and it happened very energetically. It doesn't mean that you actually said this out loud. Maybe some of you did. And you did it in a graceful way too, and you removed yourself from situations where, yeah. Anyway, so you know what this is for each one of you. It's different. Remember to judge people by their actions, not words. And that's how they will also assume you. Realistic approach. Yes. And with Virgo, of course, is that analytical energy at play. Appearances, cycle, possibilities, potential, conclusions, plans, change. You're taking care of yourself now, the way you did for others. Anyway, 717, and this number again, this is a regular one on my channel. Spiritual growth, self-discovery, fulfilling one's destiny. Third eye. The hard part is over. The good news is that your efforts will soon pay off. So keep moving ahead with your goals in mind. 717 may also mean you must reevaluate a project or endeavor. Yeah, and also I'm getting this message. Do not rush, okay? Do not rush. Walk in spirit, in your personal spiritual guidance, all right? Never dismiss that emotional part of you and the spiritual energy that you work with. Do not become just like, the people around you. Like, be mindful of, basically, just be mindful that you got nothing to prove here, okay? Whatever you're doing it for yourself. I think you guys, that's how it is for you anyway. So that's all I see. I hope this helps. If this resonates, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.